economical powerhouse that is the Chinese.
Well, and it used to be you would see French Pass, and it was the old French Pass, which was longer. There's a lot more openings on the side of this at least now, but it also used to be that you could build stone walls, and you saw a lot of players early on like cheesing, walling people in or out or whatever it might be. But not only are you not allowed to build walls in this stone walls in this tournament until H3, these gaps are much larger, and it's a larger investment to do that. So it's interesting to see this one back on the main stage.
Yeah, I think both elements there are important, but it's kind of interesting that we as a competitive community agreed that stone walls in feudal is stupid and removed it. And then, like, on the other side, it's like, oh, French Pass is stupid because the mountain's too long. It's like, it's both. It's both, which is unfortunate for people's pub games because one of those elements can still be done. Admittedly, stone walls would be more expensive and long and they build slower, but I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't really watched many pub games of French Pass due to it not being a rotation, but I imagine if I was to open up a bunch of replays, it would still have that kind of stonewall gameplay, especially if someone whips out someone like the Chinese.
Yep, and looking at our relic spawn, we got 2 down on the south side, 1 on the west, 1 in the middle, and then 1 in the northeast. So pretty evenly distributed. You could say, I guess there's 2 kind of to one side for MarineLorD, but yeah, it looks like the gold mine rather north for MarineLorD. If there was a Barbican situation, but this is a hard map, like to run all the way over there to drop a Barbican. I don't know.
The first thing I'm looking at is sheep. We've seen some
look at 2 gold
situations.
mines though. Looks like
take our minds off gold, right? I'm freaking more on the sheep situation. I've seen people GG out 5 minutes because they can't get any sheepies. Looks like DeMusliM has got some gun around the back. Also, because he's playing the Chinese, less likely to be worried about that. It's not a mirror matchup, but it's just I've seen games where because of the weird kind of way in which French Pass spawns or because people aren't familiar with where the sheep usually spawn, sometimes you see one player with like 16, 17 sheep and the other one's like, I've got two little sheepies and that's it. Can we breed these?
Yeah, and one thing for this map is all of the gold is concentrated, in that middle. We've got the in-base one, and then you got one a little slightly out. We've got MarineLords kind of both in the same direction. Man, I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah, a tower or a Barbican right in the middle of those gold mines would be quite annoying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if DeMusliM plays for a later timing. Maybe some sort of feigned aggression via, I want to say horsemen, but I don't remember the last time I saw Chinese build horsemen. It could be this thinking Barbican. Outpost rush around is somewhat feasible. I just feel like in a condensed choke point where your options are limited, like one scout can whiff this out early and all of a sudden you damage your own game and you can't even commit to the play anymore.
And I like that Aachen Chapel placement. It's covering the gold, the sheep, and the wood. So pretty good start there. And looks like we got the sheep coming back on home right now. Oh my gosh, I'll say they could get sniped, but I think he's going to be good close there. But
very important as well because you want to keep all your food coming in like sources around this building so that you can easily tax it. It becomes efficient. You can always just supervise one location. In fact, when we were looking at MarineLorD's base, we focused a lot on the goal, but let's think about like the layout in general for what you can access. There's no big whammy. You can't get deer involved. You can't get berries involved. Maybe you can reach the stone. But ideally, he needs a lot of sheep there to get an optimal Aachen in his base.
And as far as this expansion is going to go, I expect he's kind of focus northern there and go around the corner there, as that's kind of where his gold is going to kind of lead. With DeMusliM having to, I guess, after those first 2 veins, travel a little further.
Just a little bit, just a titsy bit. He'll have some tax to help him along the way. I would love to see this evolve into kind of a proxy base in the center of the Chinese as we get into that like mid-late game, especially with how quickly they can build up bases and build up defenses.
Maybe like on one like northern sacred site or something. Yeah. But we do have both sacred sites are kind of on the outskirts of the middle, the French Pass or whatever you want to call it, and we also have markets on all 4 corners on this map.
Yeah, the giant butt crack full of gold nuggets is what this is. There's so much gold there. Like, actually, just look at the mini-map, and then actually, let's go down the chasm and see what we've got in there in the valley. Pretty much all the gold is there. Like, you've got 1 8K stack worth of gold across 2 small stacks outside of that, and then everything else is in there. That's why I'd love to see DeMusliM eventually play towards here, because MarineLorD has infinite gold in theory if he gets 2 Regnitz relics. You, as the Chinese, you got tax, but it doesn't really compare on its own.
Yeah. And we got the scouts facing down there, but it looks like more HP right now for MarineLorD's scouts. So DeMusliM got the fall back, but Villagers not taking too much damage, just kind of some harassment going on here right now as MarineLorD hits age 2. Both players in age 2 now at this moment.
Two Imperial officials are ready for DeMusliM. I'm always curious to see like different builds because I've seen some people be really stingy before going up to 4. Some people kind of rushing up after their second TC. It depends how much you want to levy taxes, I find, more than anything else. And of course, you have got this stone mine gathering, so optimal would be that you're able to have 2 Imperial officials, one taxing it first, but then also supervising the stone mine.
And I'm noticing that MarineLorD has taken professional scouts, so he's going to be bringing home these deer. Not something we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I quite like this. We talked about the lack of long-term food. His berries aren't covered underneath the Arkin. He's only got his sheep in this situation, as he wanted to prioritize gold. And if you look at the layout of the deer, it's feasible he could take one of DeMusliM stacks away, as I don't see him moving out towards that northern deer stack anytime soon.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing up there. He's taking the deer right now, bringing them on home, and he can drop them right under his town center, right under the Aachen Chapel. So kind of a good way to get all that food underneath your influence.
And as expected here, DeMuslim's not going for any sort of cheeky Barbican rush unless you count rushing protection on his stone vein as a Barbican rush. He's just going to wall himself in. He's going to play this very late game. Risky if you don't aggress fast, though, because what's going to matter for you most around the 20-minute mark is being parked in that center. If you aren't in the center valley, you're going to run out of gold.
Yeah, so... And I really wonder if MarineLorD is going to go straight for the fast Imperial. Yeah, if whoever controls the middle of the gold in the late game is going to be important. I'm not sure if you can afford to just hole up. And I kind of like it. Like, I think that was a kind of an issue with this map is people would just wall out and sit back for an hour and then come out once they have all their techs in Imperial Age.
Yeah, that was the good old stone walls, wider mountain days that... Oh, God, thank God they're gone. I cry fits. I hated it. In fact, you know, part of me wants more secret valleys on here, because that was actually something you at least got on that generation of French pass.
Yeah.
You don't get it with this one. It never happens. At least not from what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, what if there was like a pass right... I wonder if this would be improved if you could go right up the middle on this. I wonder if it would
just
be
like
better
2 or 3
for
small
this.
kind of veiny paths through, right? I think that'd be really cool. Like, most people are going to predict it and wall it, but it's a new target. It's a new option. I think the best maps in the game are ones where you have variability, where you have options. It's why I'm hating on Mongolian Heights so much. Like, ooh, free crossings. And you're like, but you could go for water. Yeah, but everyone has outposts with cannons and spirit emplacements by the time I'm thinking about it.
And we see MarineLorD has just about hit age 3. Those prelates are going out, and DeMusliM doesn't have anything to deny this relic gathering. So he's going to be grabbing those relics very quickly, bringing them on in. Right now, looks like he has 3 prelates out on the map, so going to be grabbing them very, very quickly.
He's fully accepted what this is going to be. I'm surprised a little that he went so defensive with his TC, though. If you look into DeMuslim's base, he's condensed the town centers. Now, this is something you do when you feel threatened, but the trade-off of protection is that you get suboptimal economy. Now all your villagers come out from a center location, they drain the close-by resources quicker, and there's a lot more idle time for new villagers pushing out. Compare that to if you, say, drop the TC on the north next to the deer and the stone, or what deer remain. It stays efficient for longer, right? It's so much more beneficial if you can get away with it.
Okay, continuing to bring these deer home. How many deer are left in that northern one? I'm kind of curious how many
like
he's sniped.
3, maybe? I wouldn't be surprised if it's just 1 left in the stealth forest on the northern deer stack. Like, it happens. We've all been there. Okay, it's 4. Wait, 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he used the 2 default scouts, and then he came back for his own, which is sensible, because otherwise it's like double the amount of time to return the deer compared to your close stack.
Now, out comes the first knight going to harass, and what do you think? Is it just going to be a little bit of harassment and straight to Imperial? I mean, that's kind of what I'm assuming.
He's going to ID what this is the moment he sees the walls. He's going to be fully aware that DeMusliM is playing just condensed eco and booming up. And then what I'd love to see MarineLorD do, stop past some knights to prowl the midfield, but then move towards the center yourself. If you set up all these gold veins, you might not need them because of the Regnates, but you can guarantee that DeMusliM will.
Yeah. So one knight making it in before the wall goes up, which is good for him. Despite that quick building. Yeah, there he goes. One villager goes down, and that knight is in. No defenses right now, so he's going to rely on that town center and Barbican fire, but it should be fine, at least for that first one. But as the more show up, I don't know.
Yeah, and it looks like the knight didn't notice the sneak around, so DeMusliM will pull 2 villagers past to complete the walls before the second knight comes in. Important detail there. Yet to set himself up a racks, though. He's happy to just have the
Mm-hmm.
TC slowly kill off. Remember, those hand cannon slits do heavy damage even against armored units like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's very good for him. But that one that could just sit there and be annoying. But he's pretty low on HP.
Yeah, I'd actually say the Chinese is the hardest civ for heavily armored units to dive. Not even the English TC5 feels like it compares. Like, if you're a French player and you're trying to be really optimal with your knights early on, I don't think there's a civ you roll your eyes at more.
So we've got the Palace of Swabia going up already. Going to be printing villagers very, very soon for at great discount bargain prices. And he's going to have 4 relics in. I'm assuming, where's the 5th one? Down on the bottom left. I guess he won't get that.
The final one is in DeMusliM's base behind the walls. He's unlikely to get that, but I love how he's not even rushing to get them back. So I'm just going to stop off and pick myself a few sacred sites first, and then
get it. That
walk
knight's
back.
going to work on it. Look
Knight,
at that low
oh my
HP
God.
knight just causing so much idle time. Oh,
Nice, good
villager
stab.
gets him.
That was getting a little bit tilting the amount of villagers there. Like, if they had to idle, that's really frustrating for you. And you know your timings. You know what's coming. Like, DeMusliM's no idiot. He's seen what happens with HRE booms. When they get it for free, 12 minutes max, and they're there. And that's exactly what MarineLorD's going to have.
And he's still got plenty of food under his town center right now because of the professional scouts. And there we go. The villager printing operation is online. And keep an eye on that villager count. Right now, 58 for DeMusliM, 37 MarineLorD, but that's going to be changing here very quickly. And you got to consider he's going to have 4 relics online. That's 400 gold per minute. And he has 2 sacred sites.
Palace of Swabia, I like to call it Love Hotel. I think some people petitionally have it renamed that. Here's a more kind of sensible one. Let's just call it the Habsburg residence. All the inbreeding and the humping they done being everywhere in Europe, it seems appropriate because this is basically free TCs under one roof with a 66% discount. Phenomenal.
Woo-hoo. And there we go. Those relics being deposited. And look how he's connected all of his stuff with his house. Little influence highway there.
Just in case, right?
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case the
more
Chinese player
stables.
builds a spearman. It's not
I mean,
gonna
I'm
build
kind
anything else.
I'm kind of nervous about this being a sacred site victory in favor of MarineLorD. Like, to Muslim, the clock is ticking. He has 9 minutes to do something. And look at he's going to try to get that last relic. I'm telling you, he's going for all 5.
I think he was thinking about the deer. He'll discover very quickly there's too many villagers there. But keep in mind something else MarineLorD can do in this game. Now that he's escalating his villager count, he can invest in people on a stone. If he goes on a stone, he can keep drop on both of these sacred sites and delay DeMusliM. DeMusliM won't have a way of decapping until he reaches Imperial. We're talking maybe 3 minutes left on the clock at that point.
Yeah. So we've got the scouts down harassing, but that's not going to do anything. In come the knights, and is he going to grab this deer right out from underneath him?
I think he wants to. There's no reason he wouldn't here. Finally, a
We
rack
used to see
comes
this all
out.
the time.
Oh my God, look at the idle time
He's
right
gonna
now.
do
Look
it.
how many villagers aren't
no.
working.
He's getting him.
Yoink. Yoink.
13-minute scout snipe. You used to see this when professional scouts was just like
I
every
remember.
game.
Yep, it was brilliant. Do you remember they used to dive the TC as well? Like the
Yeah,
Roost
yeah.
mirrors is like you have 12 scouts just going in. It's like, I'm going to get these. And the re-wall from DeMusliM.
Smart. I mean, it's still, even if he just drops those out and down the bottom left, it's
yeah.
going to be, I mean, or just holds them and runs around for a while. Like, this is very annoying.
Yeah, he's just like, whoops. What we do now? He's actually
I
dropping
would
them
be
off.
so annoyed.
He's just
Yeah, spread them out. Yeah, don't put them in one spot. Oh my
The
gosh.
best part is, oh my God, it's like someone who dropped the ice cream and they just pick it up off the ground and stick it back in the cone. Like, he's like, well,
building
I'm
a
going to
mill
get
down
this
there.
anyway.
Oh my gosh, he should go grab it again and move it after he builds the
Yep,
mill.
that's what I want to see right now. I actually would love to. It's just going to delay DeMusliM further because we'll keep investing 50 wood for nothing. Right now, the scouts, you can't pick up farms, so I don't know what you're doing.
This is also probably distracting whatever his main plan is here. Sacred Site timer, 7 minutes left.
Yep, and he's got a second wave coming in of horsemen this time. Horsemen that in mass numbers can spread out and shut down the eco. Remember, right now from MarineLorD, it's not as much about killing villagers, it's about idling them. And if you remember that last raid when it came in, that was about 40 villagers idle for half a minute.
Now, this is age 4. He could build stone walls if he wants, right?
That is within the rules. Let me just check my textbook. Age 2, 4 is 2 plus 2. That's definitely high. Yes, he's allowed to build walls.
Yeah, but I mean, against China, they got the bombards pretty potent. Maybe not, but I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a case of MarineLorD just keeping him pinned in his base here until that Sacred Site timer runs down. But maybe DeMusliM is going to have something in store for us here shortly. Just don't know what yet.
Well, if you look, you can see clearly he's got a pyramid scheme he's been building over here, but I don't know if that's going to work long time. You can layer and layer this, but the problem is the escalating numbers. MarineLorD's up to 17 horsemen. Keep in mind that this is a trick, though. He's baited him in. What's the mistake that DeMusliM could make here? Build too many spears, and then the HRE switches to Lang's Neck, and we know he's going to switch to Lang's Neck because he's prepping marching drills and military academy.
Mm-hmm. We got our first nest of bees out there firing away, but those horsemen don't care. Look at that prelate. He was hoping to get some action, but not today.
No, sorry. You have to wait. And here we go. The keep drop I wanted is on his way. It's not just about the outpost. Look at the stone gathered up, almost up to the required amount to get yourself a keep. He'll focus on the southern sacred side as well because DeMusliM is closest to this one. If he wraps around the north side, he's in trouble as well because if you look up north where the deer used to be for DeMusliM, MarineLorD's going to wall him in.
A wall. Yep. Stone wall too. But maybe not to... Yeah, I think there's going to be a keep drop on that southern sacred site for sure. And that's going to be a pivotal moment here. Let's look at that sacred site. What does he have around there? He was building a tower? Yeah, he's just now started on it though. Horsemen, tons of barracks.
The beautiful racks. We saw it from Beastie once today already, but that was in his opponent's base. MarineLorD a little bit more contained. Will place it next to his win condition. And also alongside this, all those horsemen he built up, biology. It's on its way. Biology, military academy, and marching drills. Critical ingredients into success here. You can see DeMusliM rushing to get out now. Has been stockpiling nest of bees that can assist, but they're going to struggle to keep up the pace the spearmen have to move at.
Now, I'm not sure if these horsemen are going to be able to go head-to-head with that purely spearman army here, but as those barracks go online, it's just not going to matter.
So this is a transitional play. The horsemen, now that they're countered, they've baited the spearmen. The Lang's Neck will answer the spears, and the horsemen are there to exploit that engagement and go after the nest of bees. Nest of bees threaten Lang's Neck here, but that's a dynamic at play. And the problem DeMusliM has is he's not the lead partner in this dance anymore. The sacred site means that MarineLorD is going to be the one spoiling him around like they do in the tango.
And 4 minutes left here in this tango. And he has the stone available to drop that keep, but he has not done it. I think he's realized, oh shit, we might have a problem here.
Mind your language. It's sacre bleu. Because DeMusliM has so much respect for MarineLorD, he just turns French when he goes up against him. It's an English thing. We're obsessed with the French were obsessed with us, and they even took us over at one point. It's a long history, dude. You get it. I mean, you know, you guys used to be ruled by English. You speak English. It's just, you can't get past the go see you pass, you know?
I'm surprised this is the first time I'm getting scolded for language when we usually have the Australian cursing on here.
That's true, but to them, it's a form of greeting. You should know better. I'm kidding.
Okay,
do what you want.
We're down to 3 minutes, and I don't see how he's gonna. I guess he can still maybe build a keep if he builds a bunch of villagers, right? Because they build really quickly, but
sure.
How's he going to do it with all these Lance Neck? They're going to just wipe out everything.
Yeah, like maybe if this is in the Warhammer setting, enough blood being tributed would summon a demon. But last time I checked, Age of Empires, if you want like the mythological side of things, you have to go to Age of Mythology. So that doesn't work here. And the ring-a-ding-ding, we're 3 minutes away. I am losing faith in Benny Boy's plan here.
He actually still could technically go up north. There's nothing really there. That Stonewall is not complete, but he's fixated on the southern side.
I think he also suspects that there's more there than there is, and it is going to escalate. Like, villagers being pulled out here, outposts going up, walls as well. Here's another issue. If your plan to breach is nest of bees and bombards, even spears as well. Okay, let's say you march north. You're up against marching drills and cavalry. MarineLorD has the shorter route to go north, and he'll see you going north the moment you hack that wall. So there isn't a good option.
He's got to push here in the next minute because he could even stand on top of the sacred side and let the time run out.
And look at this. We could see. It's the cannons. Like, realistically, a keep is better.
Culveron's ready to go.
Like, so a keep is better as one unit, but here's the thing. The outposts are more efficient for DPS because he's got multiple cannons
There we go. This is going to be it. Will MarineLorD be advancing easily? Spearmen engaging with the horsemen on the front line. We've got the culverin firing off.
Lang's Neck are in. This is going to be a problem. Clashing with each other, but getting around the back. Keep trying to be built up, but even if you get up, how do you get the decap now? Lang's Neck spreading out, plenty of villagers going down, and the cannonball emplacements are the problem. You can rush the site, but you cannot stand on it long enough. Second keep, DeMusliM trying to stabilize this area. Yeah, the Lang's Neck are gone, but so's the time. 1 minute and 30 out. Your army is going to get wiped, and the keeps cannot kill off these outposts quick enough.
He could just sit on top of there with his spears, potentially, but he still needs to do it very quickly, and those towers are going to stop it.
I love you, Fitz. You really are a dreamer right now, but this is
Look,
not a dream, my
there he
friend. This is a
goes.
nightmare.
He's
Yep.
got it.
Watch what happens.
For now.
Watch what happens. Cannonball!
Here comes the Lynch neck. Yep. All those keeps just aren't going to do enough. He's working on taking it. We got a minute and 10 seconds about left on the timer.
And this is the thing. He just runs a few troops on. He doesn't even need to
Oh,
attack
boy.
because the cannons are attacking. It's 3 cannons, even more if you count the culverins, which are optimal at sniping out units right now.
He's going to just jump on there. Halfway capped right now, but not going to be enough. No action on that northern sacred site. And those horsemen run in, and they're going to wipe out what's left there of those spearmen. He's trying. Wait, hold on. I see the timer is stalled.
The thing is, it's going to recap now. Look at DeMuslim's army. He hasn't got the push power behind it. Not enough racks up. Not enough spears coming out. Right now, DeMusliM, he's tendering it up. He's going, I've got nothing left. And it's appropriate here. Ringing the bell. Minute away. 1 keep goes down. No answer to the bombards. He can't amass troops quick enough. In fact, right now, MarineLorD has more Langsneck than DeMusliM has spears.
Yeah, and that was a cute little charge there, but up against the bombard towers, just not enough.
No,
was that the tower that just killed that, or was that the culvert?
I think it was the bombards. There was 3 bombards on the backside that had just been whittling away, and you can see him going for the decap. But what did I talk about? It's the fact that it's horseman and Langsneck. He can just rush up. You'll slow down it for a sec. You'll be able to start that decap, but you can't hang on it. And now another cannonball.
Oh!
This is the problem.
Yeah, not enough.
It just doesn't work. It's a cute idea, but MarineLorD, the read on this game is brilliant. The Stonewall's going up, the outpost an early warning. The fact that he went marching drills with Langsneck and Horseman meant he could always respond, and it's exactly why DeMuslim's only response left is the cool GG, another 2-0 in the semifinals.
And it looks like he'll be advancing on to the finals, which will be a best of 5 versus Beastie Cutie. Beastie Cutie and MarineLorD showdown. Should be a fun final series of the day.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the classic ones we expect to see so frequently here. Rematch of the Golden League Finals. MarineLorD and Beastie, 2 players that are very comfortable playing games later. I'd say, judging by what we saw from MarineLorD here, just saying he's methodical Fitz as well. And I think that's going to be a very exciting matchup in a best of 5, especially when you consider the curveballs that 2 custom maps still in rotation can offer.
Yeah, kind of interesting. That was DeMuslim's map choice, and then he just turtled in base the whole time. I feel like you've got to be aware that that sacred site is very much a real threat on that map, and that gold being in the middle. It's kind of a surprising choice as far as sitting in base with China when he picked that map.
I don't know if it's DeMusliM like being experimental, if he's just bored of the patch, if he's just rusty because he's been like busy with StarCraft at the moment. Like, I don't think it's rusty. I think it's maybe he's just looking for something different because these are very unorthodox strategies that we've seen come out, right? Like the English longbow spam maybe works in the first month release, doesn't really work these days. You see how powerful horsemen can be.
Yeah.
And this game, like Chinese booming up on French pass sounds like something I'd hear in the first month, but people have learned not to do it against the HRE.